Hello, everyone, and thanks for checking this podcast out. I'm calling it a microcast because I think it's going to be pretty short episodes. It's probably the best for me in terms of handling things, so I don't break down. But the purpose of this show called Nerves of Teal is really to go back and review some of the documentation and our story of getting through the journey of ovarian cancer with my mom. And when I say get through, we did not get through it. Unfortunately, my mom passed away just 115 days ago. And what I've done is throughout her journey, 18 months, I documented as much as I possibly could, mostly so that I could remember everything, but also to keep my family members and her friends and our customers from our family's business informed. And it was really helpful to do this in the process. Although I have to say, I did not really like the platform I was using, only because it would ask people for donations kind of under the guise that it was for my mom, which we would have never asked for donations. So it would be completely inappropriate. But this site just kind of is known. You can't turn that off. And I think a lot of people probably donated, but it's to the good of the site, and the site does good things. So it's not like it's lost, but I just think it was a little misleading. So I really disliked using it, but it did provide a way for people to kind of subscribe to my updates and made it just easy on me at the time. So now I kind of want to retire that whole site. And instead of doing just a regular blog, I figured I would voice over the story and the documentation, because I think it would be great for my daughter, son, and my future grandchildren and multiple generations after me to understand what we have been through as a family, and also just understand what, cancer really means in terms of the fight. I don't think I really understood what the fight meant, battling cancer. So I want to give this story, my personal thumbprint, my voice print, and, just kind of do this in a different way. So I intend to start in the beginning from September of 2022 and go all the way back as far as I can, kind of talk about what she had gone through and all of the situations that we endured. And then I also feel like I'll probably use this forum for my own grief and my own way of communicating to my mom when she's not here, as crazy as that sounds. So I'm going to screen share as I'm going to take you through what I'm going to be doing. So this is the actual Caring Bridge site, and it's, like I said, very detailed. I'm going to leave it up for now, but eventually I want to take it down, or just, kind of make it not accessible, and kind of go through and filter out the pictures that I took and everything. By the way, I have this amazing piece of documentation. I printed this entire Caring Bridge. It ended up being over 600 pages. Now, with that said, there was the format kind of worked out where there was a picture on each page. So I had a lot of pictures throughout the journey, a lot of pictures of notes and, just things that happened along the way, pictures of people giving her gifts. And so probably half of this is, photos that I took, but a lot of it is the detail and my writings about her appointments and the treatments and all of the things that go along with going on a cancer adventure. So this is the setup to it. My name is Gloria. I go by Gogo. She actually named me that when I was a kid, and I resisted it most of my life. But ironically, when I turned 50, it kind of came back and stuck. in my professional life. It's always been in my personal life, but never in my professional life until now. So everybody calls me that. And it kind of makes me feel like somehow she's connected to me. So I find it to be very affectionate. So I'm her only child. She had me very young. She was 17 when she got pregnant, and then 18 by the time I popped into her life. And she did not have it easy. I was a handful. They didn't call me go-go for nothing. She and I have been through a lot. She'd always talk about this massive head-on collision we had together where she had like major injuries. She always talked about her nose being on the side of her face. But miraculously, I did not have a scratch. And aside from that, she had other things. She had a ruptured appendix that almost caused her to, pass from complications of that. And then after that, she was relatively healthy as far as we knew. It was September 9th or so of 2022 where she was complaining a lot about being tired. She always complained about being tired. I can't even remember a time she didn't, but this was unusual. And she felt she needed to go to urgent care this particular week. So she went on her own, and they thought she had a urinary tract infection. And so they put her on an antibiotic. And she took that for a week, and she was not getting better. She was actually pretty miserable. And so we ended up making an appointment with her nurse practitioner. Her name is Patty. Hello, Patty. If you ever hear this, we love you. Patty was standing in for Dr. Harding, who was out of town at the time. And Patty was the one who insisted that she actually got a CT scan. And so you wouldn't believe how much effort it takes to actually schedule a CT scan. It's pretty crazy. You can't just get in. It was going to be like a week or two later. I don't even know how long. And I'm like, no way, we need to get it now. So I ended up calling basically everyone I knew to say, hey, can we get in any sooner? And miraculously, we got in and got her CT scan like 2 days later. So this was a Friday. It was Friday, September 16th. And I'll never forget it because I had a big fundraising event that I was part of the planning committee for and have been for years for the Service League of Northwest Indiana. We're a group of about 30 women who do community projects and raise money for about 30 nonprofits in the area. And our big fundraiser was this night, September 16th. And I had my dress all picked out and was ready to go. And I was in charge of the raffle, which is a big deal because it's actually supervised by the Indiana Gaming Commission in terms of the raffle itself. So I took her to her appointment, and I do remember the tech who took the CT scan seemed a little uncomfortable after she did the actual scan and, made it sound like we would hear from somebody soon. So it was in the back of my head like, there must be something going on, but certainly we didn't know what. So we went home, I went to my event, and then about 7 o'clock that night, I get a text from my Aunt Tina, who said my mom didn't want to call me because she knew I was in charge of this event and that she was taking her to the emergency room. So, of course, I freaked out, and I was in my pink cocktail dress and my heels, and I did what I needed to do to get out of there. I went straight to Walmart because that was the closest place that was still open between where I was and the hospital she was at. And I was running through the store looking for something to buy to change into. And so I did that, went to the hospital, changed, and then we took a battery of tests that night. The next day, it didn't take long for us to understand what was going on. As a matter of fact, my dear friend, Jennifer Yalowitz, her husband, Bruce Yalowitz, he was one of the guys who told me who I should be talking to, and, I'm pretty sure helped expedite getting the CT scan in the first place. And he gave me the information that night. I probably still have the text that said, it's not good. And so that next day, I was standing there with Peru Venkat's husband, Kumar, and Dr. Perlmutter. And that was the first time somebody looked me in the eye and said, your mom has cancer. So it was a difficult time. Just reciting this is throwing me back to that time. And I just remember thinking, okay, well, let's figure out what we need to do and fix it. And we mobilized. So, from that point forward, the journey began. And I, again, decided to document this the whole way because I was learning a new language. I'll never forget. Like I described it as learning a new language. I did not know what these new terms were and these new procedures, and had no idea what it was about to be a part of. And it was pretty scary. So that's kind of where it started. And this documentation, like I said, served many purposes, but I think it was my way of managing the process for myself. And it proved to be useful in many ways. So I do, recommend that if you're ever going through this journey, you definitely document it some way, whether it's voice recording or, writing in a journal. And so what I'm planning to do in this Nerves of Teal podcast is talk through the process and just share the journey. And if we can help one person be more aware of what ovarian cancer signs might be, and they get to a doctor and get to it faster than stage 4, then I feel like this will be a good thing. So thank you for listening. And I look forward to any comments, feedback, and please share this with anybody you know who is going through the same or caring for somebody who's going through their ovarian cancer journey. Until next time, thanks for tuning in to Nerves of Teal, an ovarian cancer journey.